Hi, welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. I'm going to do another demo painting. I've decided to get back to my Skyline Beauty series. This is Dallas, Texas. I've done 4, and now I want to do one more. That way I can have 5. You can have 5 uplistings on Etsy and 1 listing. That works out really nicely. If I ever get around to it, I am so busy all the time. It's really difficult to get all these things done. But I've been thinking about what I want to do with this one. I've done 4 very creative ones, and I want to do another creative one with these Skyline Beauties. I just like to really pretty much play with the color and try to get some very interesting, vibrant effects. Finally decided what I want to do. I want to, this time, with the sky, I'm going to use warm colors and go real quick. I want to really just let some things happen. It's so easy to overthink paintings, especially this type. And I just want to get this covered real quick, and since I've got the outline of the skyline already, I don't have to worry about it going away. May have to reestablish a little bit as I go along, but I want to just really flow this around. And then I'm going to have the actual skyline in cool colors. So just thought that might be an interesting effect. Now I'm not going to cover the whole sky, or probably the whole water, maybe later, just a side hide. I'm going to do that later. I'm going to just do part of it, and some of my skylines are like that. I leave them where it doesn't completely cover the canvas, and others I do. And then I have a lot of them where I have both for prints. Now this one is on a canvas panel. It's good quality stuff, good paint, so it will be for sale. I do have a lot of different stages of these paintings, and they're of course only for sale as prints. But the prints are incredible. They're beautiful, archival. I've ordered them myself. They do an excellent job, and you can get wall art prints and then prints on anything. Right now, people are buying some masks, which is certainly is appropriate for what's happening. And I'm sure it would be very interesting to have one of these skylines or anything else on a mask. Certainly a strange time period we're living in now. I never thought I'd be living through a pandemic. And I'm pretty much doing what I always do, but I feel really sorry for people that don't have enough to do. But I'm pretty much a workaholic, and I just am never out of work. I just wish somebody could add hours to the day, but can't do that. This should be very interesting. I'm letting it drip a little bit and bleed, but I have a feeling I'm going to get a little more stodgy with it as I go along, because I want to get more variety in the brushwork and the color contrast. I think I'll do a little bit of that right now. Okay. Just trying to really have fun with these paintings. Not that I don't have fun with all my paintings, but they are quite a bit of work. It's quite a discipline. I just finished another wildflower painting. I'm real pleased with it. I think other people are too. I'm getting a lot of really nice comments on it. And I mostly work in oils, and those the wildflower painting is an oil painting that just really came out nice. I'm real pleased with it. And see, I'm going to do the cool colors in here, and I may go back into it some more, but I think I'm just going to do this. I think this will be an interesting change of pace. I have tried so many different things. If you watched my demos, you've seen lots of different kinds of effects in these Skyline Beauties. I even did some flowers in one, for one in Charlotte. This is getting a little muddy, so I'm going to get some good old blue-green out. If you've watched my things, you know that I really have a thing for blue-green. Don't know why, but I just really do. And this is it's going together a little too much. So, just going to try to brighten it up a little bit. yeah, it's always fun to let the paint bleed, but then when you do that, there's always a big problem of, well, I kind of want to go further, but if I do that, I'm going to lose what I had. And a lot of what happens when an artist bleeds the paint isn't predicted. It just kind of happens, and you get these nice accidents. And then you want to go back with some control, because in my opinion, as I've said before, really good art is a balance between control and accident. If it is all accident, it looks it. If it's all control, it looks it and gets stiff. So it's a real high wire act. I shouldn't say high wire act, but it really is quite an experience. If any artists are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. There's just a fascinating trip through what you thinking about doing, what happens, what you decide to do, what you want to go back and do. It's quite an experience. I truly do, as I've said before many times, I really do live to paint and to get it out there. Just mailed one to California, and it's always really exciting. I have originals and prints in 32 states and 6 countries, and hope to get a lot more. So I always say I want to cover the world with my art. I work very hard at it, and this is what I want to express myself with in the world. Getting a lot of drips down there, but I am going to put cool colors in the reflections too, so that's no problem. And then I'll go over it with the warm. I have a feeling I'm going to go back into this one. Don't know, but I have a feeling I probably will. And modify it. But since it's all that bleeding stuff is going to make it a little bit difficult to decide exactly what I want. Like everybody, I'm kind of a little tired about being in so much, and boy, am I really tired about cleaning off groceries. There's a really good video about how you need to clean your groceries, and that is a real pain. What's really bad is if you get them in plastic bags and you gotta keep the black bags, then you gotta clean each bag. That is a real pain. So I try real hard to remember, no, paper, please paper. Then I can just recycle the paper. That makes it a lot better. Okay, getting in the reflections here. Color's real tame, which is okay. I'm very eclectic. I tend to like really strong colors and very vibrant color contrast between warm and cool colors. But there's nothing wrong with other things. I'm just really eclectic. I've always been that way. I'm just fascinated by art, and even though I would have to say photorealism is my least favorite, I like that too. I like it all. The reason I'm not real crazy about photorealism is that the artist has to stick right with the photograph. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I like to let things happen and just let interesting brushwork happen and things that I didn't plan, and then work with it, have some control, some accident, go back into it. And with photorealism, you have to just copy the photograph. If you have brushwork in it, it's not going to look like the photograph. And to each his own. I think that there have been a lot of real interesting photorealists that have done some wonderful things with it. Thomas Estes certainly did some wonderful designs and all, which is certainly something that can be done with that. You certainly are in charge of how the spacing is handled. I think the average person likes to call that composition. I like to call it spacing, but some people just prefer the term composition. They've heard that so much. Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing more things with the water. Yeah, I'm watching my time here. Don't want to go too long. Don't want to have to quit in the middle either. So I'm just going to keep trying to get as much as I can. But I have a feeling I'm going to be going back into this. I may keep this type of kind of soft color contrast, but I may also do more with it. I don't know. These are always just really interesting experiments And don't ever think I'm not serious about this. I certainly am. I'm serious about everything I do. But since I don't want to have real long YouTubes, I prefer to do things that are demos that are just really creating something and letting things happen and not having a tremendous amount of planning going on. Wow, it really did drip a lot. I dripped way down there. So I think I'll probably work with that. I don't know, sometimes drips can be really interesting, but I think I'll probably go back and do something with that. I better get moving here. See if I can't just kind of do that with some of these drips. Well, that's kind of creating some interesting effects too. So, but always been fascinated by warm, cool colors. How they just make such a beautiful, beautiful contrast. And I've noticed that people tend to like one more than the others, and I'm really into red-green. But some people, they like orange-blue, yellow-violet. It's just all in your personality. I know I've said this before, but I like to say it a lot because I think a lot of people don't realize this. They tend to take art so seriously, and there are certain kinds that you just got to look at it all, and you've got to be so into the person and all this stuff. And then, you know, what artists say is when you go to a gallery, go through with roller skates. Of course, they're not going to really let you have roller skates on. But what we mean is it's personality to personality. Some things are just going to appeal to you because you have something in common with the person that made the painting. And go run through it, find those, and look at them. I don't believe that people can go through a gallery and not like something, even if you're not real crazy about art. So just run through. That's what I do. And I love art, and I've studied it, and I know all about it, and yada, yada, yada. But I just run through. Find the ones I like. I'm really into the Impressionists, and I'm real big on certain of the romantic artists, and just everything. It's all fascinating to me. And I like all levels of abstraction. I think a lot of people think, well, you know, either you like abstract or you like representational, pretty much the way things look. And not me. I like it all. It's all an arrangement by an artist to make you look. It's something to look at. And when it's totally abstract, when you don't see any recognizable forms, well, then it's music without words. People understand that with music, as I've said before, but they don't tend to understand that with art. I've had a lot of people just argue me down, like, why would anybody do that? It doesn't make any sense. It's just ridiculous. Recently in a movie about an art collector, and based on a true story, really made me mad because he said, well, I better not repeat that. Anyway, he made a very disparaging comment about abstract art. I thought, God, this is an art collector? And you don't understand. Based on true story, you don't understand all the different levels of abstraction, that it's all abstract, it's all done by an artist, it's all an arrangement. Didn't like that. That was a great movie. Really enjoyed it. I'm really into films. I love to watch movies, and I'm very eclectic there, just like it all. I don't have a lot of time. It usually takes me 3 days to watch one movie because I just don't have much time. But I'm a workaholic, and that's the thing I do when I'm not working. And I just recently saw a great one with Christopher Plummer that I just thought was wonderful. It's not a happy one, a very sad movie called Remember. And it's about World War II, Nazi era, and it's just, it's got some very sad parts. But what was especially nice is something I didn't realize is that Christopher Plummer started out with the intentions of becoming a concert pianist. And then he decided to go into acting. And he plays in this movie, and wow, beautifully. I play the piano, and I may not studied a lot about music theory, but I have listened to a lot of great pianists, and I believe I know more than a lot of people, and he was good. And considering he made that in 2015, 85 years old, very impressive. All right, I kind of like what's happened here. I may just leave it. It's turned into a very interesting piece. I might even leave these white accents. I don't usually do that, but then that relates back to the rest of the white So this might be done. Thank you for watching. The link to the final painting will be in the description of the video, and also there are links to Etsy, my website, and other places where you can see my artwork.